Good morning, afternoon, or evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first of the two semi-finals for the we'll pop off some pots to keep safe, but in the mid, we do see some fun things happening here. So I know we're getting into a lot of what's going on early, but let's just break down some of these comps here.
Well,
Why is the Afro support?
It's really interesting to see an Afro support, especially into an Oda. Unfortunately, we weren't able to see the picks and bans this game, so I'm not sure if Viper to the Odin or if the Odin was picked into the Aphrodite. But the recent buffs onto Jubilanke gave him some pretty clear advantage over the rest of the ADCs right now. So it's interesting that they decided to go for a less than optimal clear comp with the Aphrodite in addition to the X-Ball. So I think it's interesting, especially with how squishy the Aphrodite is going to be. But it looks like Huncho Jack and Netroid are looking to invade this. Is rotating over to try to defend this.
But he can't defend it in time. Thor was soloing his speed buff, still level 1 right now, as everyone is. Susanoo, though, is here looking at these mid camps. Is level 2, but won't be able to steal them away 2v1. So Thor and Vulcan do manage to hit good in good time to hit level 2. But as you mentioned there, just Huncho Jack and Netroid, pressure or pressing is going to be important for them. Keep this Aphrodite down in the ground as hard as possible. Red buff's already been stripped away by WhySoCereal their own, so Viper and Iceman can't even find anything to steal off in the jungle.
No, and it doesn't look like they're going to be able to fight either in the dual lane. It looks like they're just going to be looking to clear the wave and back off as quick as they can. They are going to be able to push this next wave under the tower right now, but other than that, it's just because they got to lane a little bit quicker than Netroid and Huncho Jack. So we'll see how this dual lane manages.
Well, hopefully they're able to get themselves to the late game. It's really going to come down to WhySoCereal to gank on this. And I think that Phantom is already looking at that right now. He's making a rotation pre-level 3. The Haybud are getting a bit aggressive here, but they're going to end up fighting 2v3. Sprint has been popped, but good pull onto the Jubilanque. Jump back down from the hole. Yi keeps him safe, and it's Phantom who picks up first blood on Iceman. Still chasing. Viper caught in a bad situation. No real way of getting out of this 3v1. And Phantom actually comes away with a double kill there. So a fantastic start for WhySoCereal.
And that was great awareness by Panatum too, recognizing that the Aphrodite, if she gets to the late game, is going to be a real problem for WhySoCereal. So Panatum rotating on that level 3, going to the back camps and rotating straight to the dual lane and trying to pick up that kill, and ended up finding Viper as well as Iceman there. Great rotation by Panatum.
Really nice work here. And a quick look at the graphs will show that 1,000 gold lead and just about the same in experience is really useful, and especially on this duo lane. If we can get that Odin to level 5 faster than your opposing support, that ult is just going to be so impactful, especially into the Afro who can't get away. And not only that, but you also have the Vulcan who can't get away and the Jubilanque, and that's going to be a scary thought.
Yeah, that is 3 people on the side of Hey Bud who can't get out of that Odin cage. So, and the fact that Huncho Jack right now is level 4 versus Viper's level 3, that gives him a level advantage. So if they hit that level 5, which it looks like they might hit it on this next wave, if they hit level 5 in this next wave and decide to engage on Viper, there's not much he can do.
Indeed, not much
looks like
to do.
Phantom is making a rotation.
We've seen this happen before. Same thing. Deja vu all over again. Jump in from the hole. He actually goes in aggressively. Good pull onto the Aphrodite. Blown up and erased. Netroid will get the 3rd kill for the team and the 2nd onto the Aphrodite. Viper is not having a fun time right now.
Not at all. And this is what you expect when you pick Aphrodite as a support character. If you pick Aphrodite, like I said, Aphrodite is a very squishy character, especially in the dual lane when there's a lot of aggression between the ADC and the support. So with that squishy Aphrodite, the squishy mage, Panatum making these rotations like this, it's exactly what he's supposed to do on this jungle.
It's at this point that I'm starting to wonder whether or not Mando Warrior should have been piloting the Aphrodite instead. I mean, just put her in the solo lane. Sure, it's into a Kukulkan, which I guess is then the reason why we're not seeing her there, is just because Kukulkan is so obnoxious to try and fight into that she just couldn't and would get steamrolled. But she's getting steamrolled in support anyway, so...
That's very true, but I think that Hey Bud is a well-experienced enough team that they recognize that Aphrodite is going to get killed several times in the early game. You saw Viper's positioning in that last fight. He already positioned as far back as he could, but they didn't have the ward in the jungle, so they didn't know where Panatum was coming from. Viper understands, and Hey Bud understands, that they need to be playing as far back as they can in the dual lane, but Panatum is making these really aggressive rotations without a counter rotation from Grave, but Grave is ahead in levels right now. He's a level ahead of Panatum, even though Panatum has 2 kills.
Not only that as well, but only 5 stacks down on Assassin's Blessing, well, 7 or so. But that's important to me because he's had 10 stacks of that coming out from getting those 2 kills. So to say that, Grave is not that far behind in the stacks and was actually a level up for a short period of time, that is a commitment to just farming for the late game right now.
That's very true. And here we have Huncho Jack in the dual lane. Viper recognizes that Huncho Jack but looks like Grave is going to be going into the air.
Brent popped. Thor comes down square onto the Odin. Good CC chain, but Odin is just still so tanky. No penetration online right now. And the increased damage from the... Oh, Yanasol comes through. Actually managed to clip Thor. Phantom comes through it. Picks Grave up. Typhoon's good to put more damage into Xbalanque, but it's not good enough to keep him going. He actually teleports back in. Picks up another double kill in this duo lane. Aphrodite's still level 4. Vulcan ult goes through. Doesn't hit onto anyone, unfortunately. Odin, quick on the reaction there, just leaps square over that. And that was the first time we've seen Grave make the rotation to duo lane, and they still got punished for it.
Poor Grave. Heaterino with that ultimate from the mid lane on that Janus, clipping Grave right as he's trying to get away and letting Panatum just walk through the rest of the team and clean it up for a double kill. That's about as good of a Janus ult as you're going to get, I think.
I mean, you hit the nail on the head there. Walk through the rest of the team. There was nothing that anyone was able to do to this Susanoo. He turned up, and nobody was living after that.
And that really
kills already.
And that really shows the mobility that Heaterino is going to offer on this Janus. If he keeps using those ultimates as a counter engagement, letting Thor engage, and then if Thor doesn't pick up the kill right away and Heaterino rotates with Panatum, then they're going to walk through. Just like I said, they're going to walk through the rest of the team if they burn too much on someone. So
indeed.
I also that's something we're going to see a lot in this mid game.
I do also like these reinforced Greaves coming out onto Huncho Jack, just because the crowd control reduction. Let's forget the passive for a sec. The crowd control reduction. When you have a Thor who wants to do exactly what he did, jump in with the ult, stun you out, and set up for the rest of your teammates, reducing that amount of setup potential is fantastic. Then you couple on the fact that tick damage or reoccurring damage, like Aphrodite does, like Thor spin to win, it just gets better and better.
That's very true. I agree. I think that Reinforced Greaves is definitely the right pickup for Heaterino or Huncho Jack on this Odin. Especially since he's going to be having to jump in to engage until he gets that blink online, which I'm assuming he's going to go for his second relic. Most Odins in the support role decide to go for a blink. It makes a much easier setup. So if he can get that, if he can jump in before he gets the blink online, he has those Reinforced Greaves, and that's going to keep him alive even longer, especially with the shield. But it looks like Graves going into the air on the solo lane side.
He's up, looking for someone right now. Will land onto the Kukulkan under the tower. Spin to win and double tap are good, but the Spear of Mortal Pain is better. Senungle ends up picking up the kill. Rotation out from Phantom, though, is still good. Typhoon knocks up, and Mando Warrior gets put down. A double kill in the duo lane to start it off the game, and now we have a double kill in the solo lane. Hey Bud need to find a win somewhere, something that they can cling to, I feel.
It's so unfortunate. Oh, but it looks like Huncho Jack and Heaterino are here, and Huncho Jack is going to ult. Aphrodite ult is used. Janus ult is used as well. Looks like Vulcan is going to try to throw as many abilities out as he can, but...
Oh, but Senungle ends up turning up the fight. He rotates back in. Heaterino picks up one, and Senungle jumps square into the second. Good rotation there. Just great map awareness. Odin, still incredibly tanky, just locks in the Aphrodite, and unfortunately, White Goodman is another one of those 3 characters who can't get away. Tries to ult to scare people away, but he's not got much damage online right now. He's not got the levels to really contest into what WhySoCereal have to offer right now.
That's a really, really unfortunate thing for Hey Bud. especially since. But it looks like Panatum is over here cleaning up
Oh.
Brave on the solo lane side, and Netroid on the other side of the map is going to solo Iceman.
This is...
Heiba just can't catch a break.
They need to slow this down. I feel like right now they're trying to look at this and being like, come on, we can fight someone. We can show we can still fight. But you've got a Xbalanque. You've got an Aphrodite. Hold for the late. Just don't lose. And that's a win. That's all they need to do right now. They're already sat, what, 4,500 gold now, near enough?
Yeah, 4,500.
Doing this.
4,500 gold in the last 3 engagements that Graves had in the store have gone the way of WhySoCereal instead of the way of Hey Bud. So I agree with you. They need to slow down. They need to look to get their buffs, defend under tower, defend the objectives. Right now, Viper's only a level down, but Sir White Goodman on this Vulcan in the mid lane is 2 levels down for WhySoCereal's Heaterino on the Janus. So the mid laner's not going to offer as much damage, and over on the dual lane side, you see that Huncho Jack and Netroid have picked up this Gold Fury.
They're looking for it, but look when right now Phantom is. Phantom's actually diverting attention, but we'll get back to him in a minute. Cage for Odin is good. Darkest of Nights won't save him. He'll end up going back to the base. Odin pushed very low from the Vulcan ultimate, so they pull them off of the Gold Fury, and it's a 1-for-0 in the end of that. I like what WhySoCereal did there. They completely diverted and subverted their attention. Phantom had no intention of helping on Gold Fury there. Everything was just all on Iceman.
That's very true, and I think that's definitely the right call as well. Knowing that they're up by now 4,500 gold right now on the side of WhySoCereal, they can push this advantage. They don't have to full commit to the Gold Fury. They can look at the Gold Fury, pull a couple players from the Hey Bud to look at the Gold Fury and see if they can engage there. But if they can't, then just like we saw, we watch Panatum rotate over to the dual lane side. Heaterino's going to ult here, though.
Through space and time, comes through. Vulcan, pushed about half health. Unstable Vortex will pick it up, though. Heaterino showing just how much damage Yana still does. Thor is up in the air. Can't land on anyone, unfortunately. Spins to win to try and buy a little bit more time. Odin leaps back in, but is not able to find any more damage. And now it's time for the Gold Fury. Another pick. No ultimates to steal this away. This is a free Gold Fury if I've ever seen one.
And the rotation from the solo lane side from Snuggle, rotating over to help and make sure that they can secure it. And if anyone comes, they can contest and look for the fight. But Panatum's pretty deep over here in the dual lane side. I'm not sure if they're looking to pick up a kill on Iceman. Netroid's playing up.
He's going to put him on ice for the start. Dash away is good, but he's still stuck around with 2 of them. Hoyi ult, Sunbreakers comes down, and that's all right for the kill there. Not only did they get Darkest of Nights, they did commit the Hoyi ult, but hey, both Hunters ulted. One of them's dead, the other one isn't. That's fantastic. And now, Netroid has a full Ichvo and a fully stacked Devos over Iceman.
Yeah, there's no way that Iceman on this 0-5, unfortunately, with how many rotations Panatum has had over there, there's no way that Iceman can try to contest Netroid at all at this point. Interesting fact, though, looks like Netroid in that last engagement decided to use his beads. I'm not sure what CC he was expecting coming out from the Xbalanque, but his beads are down for this next fight.
Indeed they are, but WhySoCereal are still looking to try and make that fight be over onto the Pyromancer. Nobody on Hey Bud is really able to do anything, and look who's the one zoning away the team. It's Panatum, because they know he'll be the person who can literally kill any of them if they turn up. Teleport in through space and time, comes through, brings out the rest of the team into a dropship. Typhoon over on the backside, knocks Aphrodite up. She's stuck in the cage, and she falls down to Heaterino. Vulcan ult is square on top, but White Goodman goes down, and Phantom picks up the second. He's unstoppable right now. That's why WhySoCereal look to barrel down the mid lane and pick up their first tier 1 tower.
And now we're looking at a 7k gold lead by WhySoCereal. Iceman over in the dual lane side, just pushing the wave, trying to get as much farm as he can. While WhySoCereal looks to invade the speed buff, push down mid. Doesn't look like they're going to be pushing the mid. They are going to be pushing the mid. I'm sorry. Huncho Jack decided he was going to look for the back camps, though.
But we did see Giannis make his way rotation back over to the left-hand side just to try and stop Iceman getting as much free farm as possible. These 3 in mid are still able to take down the tier 2 tower, and they will. So they'll trade out tier 1 and tier 2 for a tier 1 over in the solo side, which is a pretty good trade if you ask anyone on WhySoCereal.
And I really like what Iceman and Manda Warrior did. They decided that there's no way they're going to fight and defend that 2-2, especially the way that last fight went. So they're just going to look to push, get some farm. Manda Warrior was able to take the tier 1 tower on the solo lane side, and Iceman was able to get a few free waves without any contestation, except for the Janus who rotated there at the very end. So I really like that they're deciding, you know what, we can't defend that tier 2, but we can get this. Iceman's recognizing he can't even get his purple buff, though, and I'm glad he has the map awareness to know that he can't show up. Grave is here. They're going to try to get the purple buff if they can, but looks like Honcho Jack and Netroid are going to be able to secure the
They do secure the
Haybuds.
steal.
Yeah.
They steal it, which is good for them. And now they can just play Death by 1,000 cuts. We've got a lead now. Let's just see what we can take off this. I swear Phantom has spent more time in Haybud's jungle than in his own at this point. I wish there was a stat we could see.
That's true. A line straight down the middle, looking to see how long Phantom has spent
Yeah.
on the Haybud's jungle.
Because I gotta say, it's most probably been isolated around that purple buff, specifically over whenever Iceman is pushed anywhere just outside of his tier 1 tower. Phantom has been there and pretty much picked him up. So space and time has been fired. Won't clip anyone, but it does secure the tier 1 tower over on the left-hand side. Now with 2 of the 3 tier 1 towers going down, Dark Smite has been used. I'm not really sure why it was used. I guess panic at this point, but Phantom blinks in, picks up So White Goodman. There's actually Sunungle who is doing good work, and a double kill for Phantom. This could be a triple here. Typhoon knocks him up. Doesn't get to put anyone down for it.
And meanwhile, while that double kill happens over on the dual lane side, Netroid, Hitorino, and Honcho Jack have taken this tier 2 tower.
Through space and time comes through. Viper is put to nearly 0. But 1 HP is all he needs to heal back up. Phantom ends up putting more damage. Straight into the back of Mana Warriors. Actually teleports back in, but isn't able to get punished for it. And that kind of feels like Haybud right now in a nutshell. Someone goes in, but we can't punish them for it.
That's very true. That's what happens when you're 12k down at 16 minutes in the game. When you only have one side of your map still up and Sunungle over there pushing that side of the map on the solo lane, there's not much you can do except hide and hope that they make a mistake.
I'm gonna go back to it. Viper, play Kerberos or Cerberus, however you want to say it. Play the Kerberos because it's a little bit more aggressive. It's still reasonable clear, and if Phantom is over the right side of the map, that means you can aggress on the left side where the Gold Fury is, which is exactly where WhySoCereal are right now. But, hey bud, are they doing what I think they're doing? They are. They're going to try and race this for a Fire Giant here. I don't know if they have the damage for it, but they're going to give it a bit of a try, but I think they're going to just back off it. No, they're actually going to go for it. They're going to go for it. WhySoCereal don't know that they're on this right now.
And the Viper is only level 10. Sunungle is at his back camp, so Sunungle makes a rotation over there. But Sunungle's just going to look for
it. No.
Now they know.
No. Janus rotating over through space and time. Looks like it's good damage. They're just waiting on it right now. Bees is forced. WhySoCereal actually end up picking up the Fire Giant. Netroid takes Grave down and picks up Mando Warrior for the double kill, taking the Fire Giant away from Haybud. I gotta say, so White Goodman, you kind of gave your position away there. You can't be dying to Fire Giant like that.
That hurts. That hurts to watch so much. Hitorino did a great job of using his purification beads to make sure he didn't get stunned by the Aphrodite, and was able. Looks like Phantom is going to blink in here on Iceman. The Odin is going to come out at the exact same time, and Iceman is just going to disappear. Viper stuck in the Odin cage. There's nowhere he can go. The middle Phoenix is going to fall, and it looks like WhySoCereal is going to look for the end.
They're looking for it. Grave can go up in the air, finds the Janus, will manage to put one in the ground, gets himself on the board, and his team on the board for that matter as well. But WhySoCereal are still pumping through the damage Aegis forced, and he's still going to follow it through 11, 0, and 8 for Pantone right now. This is just a clinic of destruction. They are going to back off, though, as more members from Haybud are respawning.
And
I think this is still
well done by Grave there, knowing that he can still defend the Titan even still. Xball is going to come out. Manda Warrior is going to use his ultimate as well, and Netroid is going to fall.
That feels like a little bit of an overstaying right now for WhySoCereal, feeling a little bit too big for their boots. Members were still low, and sure, you have the Fire Giant, but that regen still takes some time to tick back up. Odin pushing now for under about 20% health. Can Jexball find the shots for it? Doesn't matter. Sunuggle's turned up, throws out the knock-up. It's good. Raven Shield is just as good to keep him alive, still ticking just under 300 health. But they can't find the damage to follow it up. Kerberos is now being put lower and lower. And now Sonungle's just punting him square in the back. And he will get taken down through space and time for good measures, just in case it was needed. I
That
can't.
sigh shows everything about this game right now.
I can't.
It's so unfortunate. A couple of missed abilities by Manda Warrior, a few missed auto attacks by Iceman, and Huncho Jack is able to walk out of there scot-free. Not only scot-free, but then Sonungle is able to rotate in and pick up the kill on the Manda Warrior. So they did get a couple of kills in the mid lane after WhySoCereal stayed a little bit too long.
They did.
They don't have enough damage. They don't have enough damage to burst someone down as fast as they want to. So,
I mean, you thought they would have learned that. You thought they would have learned that about when they tried to burst the Fire Giant down and ended up losing that. They just don't have the damage right now. I mean, we saw in that Phoenix defense, like a full range Vulcan ult did 700 damage to a Yanis who's level 20, and it barely did a dent to him. He was the only person who got hit by that, and it did like a 25% of his health, if that.
Well, and you see how much.
That's a big burst damage.
And you see how much health Sonungle has right now, too. He has probably 3.5k, but over on the solo lane side, looks like there's a fight breaking out. Xbalanque all is used. Manda Warrior jukes Sonungle's first ability, which would have rooted him in place, but you can see how hard his auto attacks hit. Huncho Jack blinks in, misses the ultimate onto Sir White Goodman, so Sir White Goodman is just going to walk away with Viper. Through space and time is used in the back, though.
Erased Sir White Goodman. Hidorino just pops up around the back. It's Soul Reaver proc, and the unstable Vortex just putting out stupid amounts of damage right now. Level 20 in comparison to level 15. This golden XP is all completely relevant. 23,000 experience in the lead. It is absolutely disgusting. Phoenix over on the right-hand side will fall. Thor does manage to scrape his way back to the base. With all of WhySoCereal here, they're going to look for a full commit here. Suns have come down, but Graves is up in the air. He's looking to try and find someone. There's a big grouping right now, but he's still not pulling the trigger. Ends up pulling the trigger a little bit too late. Panadome ends up going for a godlike. Graves get picked up by Hidorino, and Aphrodite can't do anything to save the team. Blinking from Kerberos, but the damage is done. WhySoCereal will win their semifinals match versus Hey Bud and move on to the finals.
Panadome cut that one pretty close. He just got the godlike 13-0-10. He almost died to the Titan, but was able to get that auto attack cancel right at the very end there. So,
very good work coming out from WhySoCereal. They knew exactly where they needed to focus, and they punched them really hard. And by them, I specifically mean Viper. Viper just could never get off the ground. Even once they started getting some of those tankier items online, it just took so long. Level 12 by the end of that game.
And unfortunately, because Viper fell so far behind, that left Iceman in a really tough position. Netroid was able to solo him around the mid game right before he picked up a full Ichaival, and Iceman just kept falling behind farther and farther and farther because of that. So that double kill from Panadome on that initial rotation at level 3 was what essentially gave WhySoCereal that little bit of a lead, and they just snowballed all the way to the end from there.
You hit the nail on the head there. Snowball is exactly what they did, and it was all from that man, Susanoo. 13-0-10. If we gave awards for MVP, I mean, you don't have to look at anyone else. I mean, you can, because they all played fantastically, but Panadome just did everything and more going in from that. But that will be it for your semifinals match now. Don't go anywhere. We will have another one coming up. Have you got any final thoughts on this game before we end up leaving off?
I think that Sonungle did a great job in the solo lane as well, making sure that he picked up that runic shield to stop Manda Warrior from getting that extra 50 power. So props to Sonungle as well, using his advantage that he got in the solo lane and continuing to press forward and using his health advantage as well as his protection to just walk at Iceman or walk at anyone he wanted to, essentially. So great job in the solo lane as well.
Indeed. Well, congratulations to WhySoCereal, who will be moving on to the finals. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back with the next semifinals shortly.